Today, we're counting down 13 American cars from the 1970s that failed their owners through serious mechanical defects, dangerous design flaws, and catastrophic quality control. These vehicles had documented problems, factory recalls, premature failures, and safety issues that made them genuinely terrible choices. Let's start number 13, 1974 through 1976 Ford Courier. The Ford Courier was a rebadged Mazda B-Series built in Japan. The 1.8-liter four-cylinder produced just 74 horsepower, barely adequate with an empty bed. Add cargo or passengers, and highway merging became dangerous. Hill climbing required multiple downshifts just to maintain momentum. Towing capacity was minimal at 1,400 pounds, and loading to capacity made handling unpredictable. Rust was catastrophic. The Courier rusted faster than almost any truck on American roads. Japanese steel wasn't treated for road salt, causing wheel wells, cab corners, and bed floors to corrode within just a few years. Snowbelt trucks were nearly rusted through within 5 years. The 4-speed manual wasn't built for work duty. Clutches wore quickly, synchronizers failed, and bearings whined prematurely. Parts availability was terrible since Ford dealers weren't familiar with Japanese components, leading to long waits and high costs. Number 12, 1975 Chrysler Imperial. The 1975 Imperial stretched over 230 inches and weighed nearly 5,000 pounds, arriving during the oil crisis. The 440 cubic inch V8 delivered 810 miles per gallon, making it prohibitively expensive to operate. Styling looked outdated compared to competitors, resembling 1960s design rather than modern luxury. The formal roofline and heavy chrome seemed old-fashioned. Build quality was consistently problematic. Electrical failures plagued complex systems. Power accessories failed regularly, and dashboard electronics malfunctioned. Paint developed premature fading and peeling, unacceptable for a premium car. Suspension components wore prematurely, engines developed problems despite the proven platform, and transmissions were unreliable. By year's end, Chrysler discontinued the Imperial entirely, unable to justify producing a vehicle few wanted and fewer could afford to operate. The failure marked a low point for Chrysler's luxury ambitions. Number 11, 1969 to 1977 Ford Maverick. The Maverick was outdated and cheaply built from introduction. The cramped interior featured low-quality materials. Hard plastics dominated dashboards, vinyl seats were thin, and fit and finish suggested relentless cost-cutting. Performance was anemic with the base inline-six, and even the optional V8 couldn't overcome fundamental lack of refinement. Ford added the Grabber package with graphics, hood scoops, and spoiler, but cosmetics couldn't hide mechanical shortcomings. Build quality varied wildly. Some held up while others failed quickly. Rust appeared within years around wheel wells and doors. Electrical systems failed frequently, and carburetors needed constant adjustment. Handling was vague, with poor steering feedback and suspension that delivered neither comfort nor capability. The Maverick did nothing well and couldn't compete with imports offering better refinement at similar prices. Number 10, 1975 through 1980 Chevrolet Love. The Chevrolet Love light utility vehicle was a rebadged Isuzu KB built in Japan. The 1.8-liter four-cylinder produced just 75 horsepower with 2,000-pound towing capacity and 1,000-pound payload. For a truck, these numbers were embarrassingly inadequate. The Love couldn't haul meaningful loads or tow anything substantial. Catastrophic rust appeared shockingly fast. The Love rusted faster than almost any truck on American roads. Wheel wells, cab corners, and bed floors corroded within years, especially in snowbelt states. Thin Japanese sheet metal wasn't designed for road salt. Build quality was inconsistent. Electrical systems were problematic, and parts availability was a nightmare. Dealers weren't familiar with Japanese components, requiring special orders with long waits and high costs. While fuel-efficient during the gas crisis, it failed completely as a functional truck. Number 9. 1973-1979 Oldsmobile Omega. The Omega was a rebadged Chevrolet Nova with minimal changes justifying higher prices. Buyers quickly realized they paid a premium for an Oldsmobile badge on an identical car. Interior materials matched the Nova with slightly different trim that didn't warrant the cost difference. Dashboard layout and mechanical components were completely shared across the platform. The Omega offered poor value compared to the cheaper Nova. Build quality was subpar, even by 1970 standards. Mechanical problems plagued production. Reliability issues appeared regularly across model years. Handling and performance were mediocre, failing to distinguish the car in the crowded compact market. The Omega became one of Oldsmobile's most forgettable models, exemplifying GM's problematic badge engineering strategy that created multiple versions without meaningful differentiation. Number 8. 1971-1973 Ford Pinto. The Pinto's fuel tank was mounted behind the rear axle with minimal crush space, a critical safety flaw. In rear-end collisions above 25 miles per hour, the tank could rupture and ignite. Ford's internal crash tests documented this before production, but executives calculated paying lawsuits cost less than an $11 fix per vehicle. This decision became one of the most notorious cases of corporate negligence. Beyond the fuel tank scandal, the Pinto suffered premature rust within 2 years and cheap interior materials that cracked immediately. The base 1.6-liter four-cylinder produced just 75 horsepower, making highway merging dangerous with passengers. Build quality was inconsistent with varying panel gaps. In June 1978, Ford recalled 1.5 million Pintos after mounting lawsuits and federal pressure. The Pinto became synonymous with corporate negligence and dangerous design compromises that prioritized profits over safety. Number 7. 1975-1976 Triumph TR7. The TR7 was marketed as the shape of things to come, with polarizing wedge styling. The 2.0-liter four-cylinder produced just 92 horsepower in U.S. specification, taking over 11 seconds to reach 60 miles per hour, painfully inadequate for a sports car. Performance was overshadowed by catastrophic quality control. Built in 3 different British factories, each delivered wildly inconsistent results due to labor strikes and financial turmoil at British Leyland. Lucas electrical components failed constantly. Headlights stopped working, gauges gave false readings, and air conditioning rarely functioned. Water leaked through hardtops and convertible versions. Rust appeared quickly around windshield frames and rear hatches. Plastic bumpers faded and cracked in sunlight. Priced around $7,000, the TR7 became a mechanic's retirement fund. Parts availability was poor, and finding proper service was difficult. The TR7 helped kill the British sports car industry in America. Number 6. 1975-1980 AMC Pacer. The Pacer was designed around a GM rotary engine that was canceled during development. AMC hastily reconfigured the drivetrain for a heavier conventional inline-six, fundamentally compromising the design. The car weighed 3,425 pounds, yet offered only compact interior space and worse fuel economy than many full-sized vehicles. The 3.8-liter inline-six produced just 100 horsepower, moving over 3,400 pounds, resulting in dangerously slow acceleration. Fuel economy was terrible at 18 to 22 miles per gallon. The massive glass area turned interiors into ovens in summer and ice boxes in winter. Climate systems couldn't keep up. The glass also added significant weight. Build quality suffered from AMC's financial problems. Electrical issues, vacuum line failures, and carburetor problems appeared regularly. First-year sales of $145,000 collapsed rapidly as buyers realized the car's inefficiency. Production ended in 1979 after just 280,000 total units. Number 5. 1971 to 1977 Chevrolet Vega. The Vega's 2.3-liter aluminum engine featured silicon-etched cylinder walls, eliminating iron liners. Innovative in theory, catastrophic in execution. Early models lacked coolant recovery systems, and defective valve stem seals with insufficient piston plating caused routine overheating. When aluminum overheated, it expanded faster than the iron head, permanently warping cylinders and causing complete engine failure before 50,000 miles. Rust problems compounded mechanical disasters. Despite GM's rust-proofing claims, corrosion appeared within months. In 1972, GM recalled 500,000 Vegas for rear axle shafts that could separate, causing wheels to detach, carburetor brackets that jammed throttles open, and carburetors that backfired violently enough to rupture fuel tanks. By 1974, Chevrolet was repairing virtually every overheated Vega engine. Consumer Reports called it one of the worst cars they tested, and it damaged GM's small car reputation for decades. Number 4. 1974 to 1978 Ford Mustang II. The Mustang II was built on a modified Pinto platform, the same vehicle notorious for fuel tank dangers. Ford transformed a performance icon into an underpowered economy car. The base 2.3-liter four-cylinder produced just 88 horsepower. The optional 2.8-liter V6 managed 105 horsepower. The 5.0-liter V8 offered in 1975 produced only 140 horsepower, less than half what Mustangs delivered 5 years earlier. Even with the V8, 0 to 60 miles per hour required over 10 seconds. Handling featured excessive body roll with vague steering. Interiors used the same hard plastics and thin vinyl as the Pinto, cracking quickly. Build quality was poor with immediate squeaks and rattles. While Ford sold over 1 million Mustang IIs, the car damaged the Mustang's performance reputation for years. Motor Trend named it Car of the Year in 1974, a decision that hasn't aged well. Number 3. 1978 to 1984 Oldsmobile Delta 88. GM's 350 cubic inch diesel V8 was rushed to market after only 5 years of development. Engineers catastrophically based the diesel on Oldsmobile's gasoline V8 architecture, using identical head bolts designed for much lower compression ratios. Insufficient head bolts stretched and failed under diesel combustion pressures, causing blown head gaskets, allowing coolant into cylinders, leading to hydrolock and complete engine destruction. GM eliminated the water separator to reduce costs, despite water contamination being common in diesel fuel. Corroded injection pumps and fuel lines became epidemic. Timing chains stretched prematurely, causing thick smoke, poor performance, and difficult starting. Repair costs frequently exceeded $2,000. A class action lawsuit forced GM to cover up to 80% of replacement engine costs. Number 2. 1976 to 1980 Plymouth Volare. The Plymouth Volare was Chrysler's replacement for the reliable Valiant, but it became one of the most recalled vehicles in automotive history. Chrysler rushed it into production 6 months early, skipping critical testing phases to generate desperately needed revenue. First-year buyers became unwitting final product testers, discovering catastrophic defects that should never have reached customers. The most expensive problem was premature fender rust, affecting every single 1976 and 1977 Volare produced. Chrysler was forced to recall over 1 million vehicles for front fender inspection and potential replacement, costing the company $109 million. The fenders lacked proper galvanization and inner liners, causing complete rust-through within months in northern climates. Within 2 years of launch, the 1960 models had been recalled 8 times by federal safety regulators for serious issues, including emission system failures, fuel leaks, seatbelt malfunctions, hoods that wouldn't latch properly, engines that stalled without warning, and suspension and brake components that failed prematurely. Number 1. 1975 to 1980 Chevrolet Monza. The Monza earns the top spot by building on the Vega platform, using a documented disaster as foundation. Engineering was spectacularly poor. On V8 models, rear spark plugs were completely inaccessible without lifting or removing the entire engine. Routine maintenance requiring 30 minutes needed professional shop equipment and hours of labor. Some of the worst packaging engineering in automotive history. The Monza inherited every catastrophic Vega problem. Aluminum engines overheated regularly, warped cylinder heads, and consumed oil at alarming rates. Rust appeared within 3 years around wheel arches, door bottoms, and rear hatches. Optional T-top roofs leaked water and air, creaked over bumps, and rarely sealed properly even when new. Interior quality featured hard plastics and thin seat padding throughout. Handling was poor, with problematic rear suspension causing unpredictable behavior. Starting around $3,500, the Monza sold well initially thanks to styling, but reliability problems and maintenance nightmares scared buyers away. The Monza represents the absolute pinnacle of 1970s automotive failure.